is it to know that finally that's about to be over and fight night is nearly here?
Je pense que c'est la compétition, le combat où il y a le plus de discussions et tout. Comment est-ce que tu te sens de savoir qu'on est sur la fin et que bientôt c'est fini?
Yes, that's a little bit crazy because this is look a little bit like the end of something, you see. The last step, like I like to say. I'm really excited. I'm in a good mindset, really healthy. We are really ready, in shape, and yes, there's a lot more hype around this fight, and that's absolutely normal. But I'm really comfortable with that.
How have you found that experience, having this extra hype and all the discussion from Dana about your relationship with Francis and all that sort of stuff? How have you personally found it in this lead up?
Comment est-ce que tu te trouves dans ça, dans tout ce truc où il y a la hype autour, il y a les soucis avec Francis et Dana White et tout? Comment tu te retrouves dans tout ça?
I'm okay. I can deal with this. This is the real life. This is the real life. The deal we have with Fernando Lopez and Francis, this is real. This is not exactly my deal. But now I'm in these histories, and yeah, we are comfortable also with that.
With all this stuff with Fernando and Francis, is it almost better that Francis left the gym? Because if he had stayed, then you guys would have meant to fight and you were still training partners. It would have been way worse. So do you think it's actually better that he left all that time ago?
Est-ce que c'est beaucoup mieux que Francis soit parti? Parce que s'il était resté à la salle et que vous devrez quand même combattre, ce serait beaucoup plus compliqué. Est-ce que ça simplifie les choses?
Clearly, yeah, 100%. If Francis stay in the gym, it will probably a little bit more complicated because we're still sparring together, so we know each other really more than that. Because you see the sparring what they are 2-3 years ago, so we improved since this date. So yes, 100%, will be really different.
This fight has been discussed by everyone as your technique versus his power, but is there something that fans and media in this fight are not seeing that you think will play out in the cage on Saturday?
Les gens présentent ce combat comme étant ta technique contre sa force. Est-ce que tu penses qu'il y a des choses que les fans ne savent pas, beaucoup plus compliquées que ça entre vous deux, enfin qui pourraient être plus que ça, plus que juste technique contre force?
This is not just only the power against the technique. It's not only the power. You have a fight IQ also. He's technical. I'm more technical than him, and I have a power also. You see, so this is not exactly the power against the technique. So, but we will see. We will see.
Is there a chance Francis could be fighting emotionally on Saturday with all the extra stuff outside the cage?
Est-ce qu'il y a des possibilités que Francis soit ému dans son combat et qu'il ne soit plus lui-même avec tout ce qui se passe autour de lui là?
How I can ensure about that? That's not possible. I don't know. I'm not in his mind. Maybe. But one thing sure is really focused on this fight. A lot of media talk to me about his future with Tyson Fury or something like that. Yes, he talk about his future, but he's really focused on this fight.
Last thing from me. You are the interim champion, but do you feel like a champion, or will you only truly feel like a champion after you beat Francis?
I'm the interim champion. I'm not the champion. I'm not the best guy. I'm not the baddest guy in the world. Today is Francis. And if I want to beat this guy, I must beat Francis at first.
So, right here. Francis has obviously had a lot of success against high-level kickboxers like Alistair Overeem and Jairzinho. You, of course, have the Muay Thai background. So how would you compare your style of striking and fighting to his past opponents inside the octagon?
Il a déjà affronté des strikers comme Alistair Overeem, comme Jairzinho. Comment est-ce que tu compares ton style de combat, ton niveau de striking par rapport à Jairzinho et par rapport à Overeem, par exemple?
We are a little bit different. I think I'm a new version. This is a new era. You see, you have the guys like Thomas Minard, so another new guy in this division. We are a little bit different. I think we understand something more, and that's why it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. This is not a disrespect for Overeem or Jairzinho. This is an excellent fighter too. But this is really different. This is really different.
Well, speaking on that, like you mentioned Tom Aspinall, and there's a lot of other young heavyweights coming up. And for years, I guess fans and media said, and you just have to be powerful in the heavyweight division. You said now this is a new era. So why do you think it took so long for these UFC heavyweights to kind of adapt to this new style, as you're saying?
Pourquoi tu penses que ça a été aussi long pour que les gens comprennent, que les nouveaux poids lourds s'adaptent et comprennent que c'est la nouvelle ère et qu'il ne faut plus juste compter sur la puissance?
I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what is the good answer. I don't know exactly. But yes, when I started, I think I was the first guy look like that. I think when we started with TKO, I remember in the media, social media, a lot of people told about my physique, talk about a lot of about that. But the people, approve it. This is not a weakness.
And finally, before you came in, Brandon Moreno was in here, and he obviously represents Mexico as the champion, and he gets pulled in a lot of directions to do media and interviews and everything. He said training camp was hard, bouncing around and everything. So how has life been as an interim champion for you back home in France?
Avant que tu n'arrives dans la pièce, il y avait Moreno, le champion des poids légers qui combat sur la même carte que toi. Et il est tiraillé de partout parce qu'il représente le Mexique. Il est le premier champion mexicain. Et il est persécuté. Comment tu vis ça? Comment tu vis le fait? Comment ça se passe pour toi? Est-ce que tu es persécuté? Est-ce que tu es tiraillé à gauche, à droite pour les médias?
Oh yes, of course. You have a lot of date with the media, a lot of I don't find my word, but you have a lot of things like that. But that's okay. That's really normal, and I must do that for my country. I must do that for the future fighter from my country. You see, this is something new in my country for the big fan, and I can deal with it. And this is a part of my job, and I want to do it. The fight, just in general, the sportive need the media, and most in my country because I must to bring that of my country. You see, I must to make this shine on my country.
Ciryl, right here. Ciryl, you talk about you're not the champion until obviously you get that undisputed title, but you've gotten to enjoy a little bit of it. You do the photo shoot with the belt around Paris. The pictures come out really cool. I mean, what's that experience like to get a taste of being the champion and everything that comes with it?
Tu dis que pour être champion, il faudrait que tu battes d'abord Francis. Cependant, tu as quand même profité et tu as goûté à ce que c'est que prendre des photos avec la ceinture intérimaire. Qu'est-ce que tu as ressenti de goûter ça? Comment tu as ressenti?
I felt the people are really proud about that. This is not the champion, but this is the interim champion. But this means something. This is not nothing. You see, this is special too. And to bring this in my country, we was a little bit surprised because there are a lot of people. We didn't organize something really strong, really hard, but the people are really present, and this is making me really happy.
Some people say you are the most photogenic fighter on the UFC roster. Yes or no?
No, this is not true. I'm not sure about that.
Who's ahead of you?
Who?
Qui est au-dessus de toi?
Who? This is a good question. I don't know exactly, but I'm going to give you this answer after.
Thank you.
You're thinking about who?
Me?
Yeah, Bogos. Who is Bogos in the UFC? Bogos. Alan Bodo, my guy. Yeah, this is good.
Ciryl over here. Francis has been talking a lot about boxing Tyson Fury. If you are to beat Francis, where do you think that puts you? Does boxing even interest you at this stage in your career?
But you see, when I started the MMA, I'm looking for maybe, I was not sure. I studied MMA, but I got another option, is what the boxing, because I talk with the team in boxing. And I chose the MMA with Fernando Lopez because he gave me a good plan, so that's why. But I'm really interested about the boxing game. I'm really interested about the basketball, the soccer, the golf, any sport, so you understand me? But yeah, it was an option. It was a big option before the MMA. So why not after? Yeah. And if tomorrow I beat Francis, of course, it will be me.
Are you any good at soccer?
You say?
Are you any good at football, soccer?
Yeah. I was a great player in any sport I did.
Lastly from me, have you been a little bit disappointed in how things have been handled between you and Francis during this build-up, or did you expect this?
Est-ce que tu as été un peu déçu par ce qui s'est passé entre Francis et toi ces derniers temps?
Not exactly disappointed because, like to say, we was not really friendly. But if we talk about the value, yes, a little bit, because when you cross someone and you know it already, you know all the team. But it was a little bit strange. It was a little bit strange, but he explained this. He don't knew exactly how he must to react, so that's why he crossed like that. Disappointed, not too much.
Ciryl, right over here. When you were growing up, you did not have French fighters to look up to. So I'm curious, when you were growing up, what specific French athletes did you idolize as you were becoming an athlete yourself?
I was not a dreamer when I was young, you see. But if I need to put some name, probably because I was in the soccer when I was young, and it was Thierry Henry. Do you know Thierry Henry? Yeah, because he's from the same country of my father, Guadeloupe. So that's why this guy make me something special. And of course Zinedine Zidane. Yeah, when I was young.
And in France, they like to say "Allez les Bleus," right?
Allez les Bleus.
So what would it mean to you if everyone was chanting "Allez les Bleus," but it's for you?
Qu'est-ce que ça te ferait si on chante Allez les Bleus, mais c'est pour toi, pas pour les Bleus, pour toi?
It's not Allez les Bleus, but it's Allez le Bleu. So this is not really make sense. So no, it's not exactly the good song for me, but we have another song. Ramener la coupe à la maison. What you say?
So he was saying that, the joke is about the fact that Allez les Bleus is, if it's for the soccer team, is 11 people, but if it's only for him, then it's singular, which is, I don't know if it makes sense in English, but...
Why not?
And then I'm curious, what's a bigger MMA fight in France? Is it Francis Ngannou versus Ciryl Gane, or is it Bouba versus Karis?
Qu'est-ce qui met le
Le meilleur des combats, des deux combats, Bouba versus Karis ou Francis et Ciryl?
I don't know if this fight gonna happen one day. I don't know exactly, but this is probably make a lot of hype. But I think today 100% it's Francis Ngannou versus Ciryl Gane. Yeah.
And when those rappers were trying to have that fight, it almost made a joke of MMA, right? When people in France don't know that much about it. So how important is this weekend for the growth of MMA in France?
Combien de fois c'est important le combat ce week-end vis-à-vis du développement du MMA en France?
Like I said just before, I want to bring more media. I want to make shine the fighter in my country because, this is a little country, but we have a lot of stars in the MMA, kickboxing. We had a lot of stars in any sport, soccer, athletics, any sport. So that's why I want to make shine the MMA because this is true also for the MMA. Yeah.
Ciryl over here to your right. What's up, man? Yeah. John Jones. Possibility he is going to be in attendance on Saturday. I know obviously you're focused on Francis, but how much, if at all, have you thought about John Jones possibly being next?
John Jones sera probablement dans le public samedi. Il sait que tu es concentré sur Francis en ce moment, mais cependant, comment est-ce que tu penses, qu'est-ce que ça te fait de savoir que peut-être John Jones est le prochain après Francis?
This will be a pleasure if tomorrow I win against Francis. Yes, I want to fight against John Jones. This is the next one. A lot of people talk about that already because we are maybe the more well-rounded guys in this division. And the people talk a lot about a technical fight. It will be probably a good matchup. So yes, if it's possible, we're gonna do this. Yeah.
Ciryl, right over here. We've seen the sparring footage of you and Francis that was out there, and obviously you guys have spent who knows how many hours, training with each other when you were teammates. How does the familiarity with each other actually factor into this matchup for you?
This has helped me a little bit, and this has helped him also a little bit. Yeah, it was really good for me at this time. At this time, I was really lucky for me. It was a good feeling to compare me, to test me with a top 5, but not only for the ranking, but for his power. It was a good class for me. Tomorrow, yes, of course, because this has helped me, because when you had a guy just face off you one time and you did some sparring, so you know him a little bit more. That's true. This is gonna help me.
Without giving away too much, can you shed any light on specific aspects of sparring and training with Francis that you thought you got the better part of him?
Sans rentrer trop dans les détails, est-ce que tu pourrais dire quelles sont les parties du sparring avec Francis où tu sens que tu as dominé un peu?
This is not a surprise. I managed the distance, you see, and maybe you can saw that on the little video. So this is my strength. Everybody know that. That's not a secret. I did that on every formal fight I did, and this is my specialty. I can manage the distance, and tomorrow is going to be that also.
And then the last thing I want to ask, obviously so much is made of Francis's power, and we've seen his power on display in the octagon many times. Sparring and training, obviously, I would think is not a 100%, but you have felt him at least in some way. Does that help you with your confidence facing him at full speed this time?
Tout le monde parle de la puissance de Francis. Tu as déjà goûté à la puissance de Francis. Tu es familier à cette force-là. Est-ce que ça va t'aider? Est-ce que ça va changer quelque chose le jour du combat, le fait que tu aies déjà senti?
Like I said just before, yeah, this is gonna help me. This is gonna help me. This has helped me already. You see, this has helped me already, because for me, Francis is one of the biggest guy, stronger guys in this division. So that's why I say this is a lucky chance to have him there a few years ago, because this has helped me for my career to feel and to know what is the power.
Thanks, Ciryl.
Pleasure.
Ciryl, one quick one before I forget. The Olympics are coming to France in 2024. Obviously, being an athlete, being a fighter, could you see a scenario where MMA is ever in the Olympics?
Les Jeux Olympiques arrivent en 2024. Est-ce que tu penses qu'il y a une chance que le MMA soit aux Jeux Olympiques?
100%. 100%. For sure. And because we talk already with the people, the big actor in my country, just for do my fight at first, to do the fight against Francis in my country. Everybody want to do that. Everybody was ready for that. Everybody want to bring that in my country. So to have that in the Olympic Games, we have 2 years front of us. So yes, this probably make happening. Yeah.
How do you see the fight ending? How do you describe it with Francis?
Comment tu vois la fin du combat? Comment tu décris le déroulé du combat?
Good question, and I don't have the perfect answer, but because I'm not a magician, so I don't know exactly what's gonna happen every time. It's like that, but I'm comfortable and I'm confident, and I know what thing I can do against this kind of guy. Really powerful. I know I can manage this. I did it already, and I don't know exactly, but everything is possible. I can knock him down, of course, because I'm in a heavyweight. I can submit him also, or maybe I can finish the game at the end. If this is the better option I have.
Thank you.
Thank you. you, everybody.